Welcome to Modi Briefing. The content of the briefing includes India to bid for 2036 Olympics as IOC censures politicization of sport. The Olympics needs cricket more than the other way around. Why Canada is becoming the focus of India's concerns about the Sikh separatist movement. I don't want to get fined. How India took the world out of World Cup. Prime Minister Modi says India will bid for 2036 Olympics. India to bid for 2036 Olympics as IOC censures politicization of sport. Al Jazeera. The International Olympic Committee, IOC, has warned countries that exclude athletes from competing for political reasons they could risk harming their plans to host Olympic Games. The growing politicization of sport was flagged as a problem by IOC member Kolinda Grabar-Kitarovic on Sunday in an update to global sports leaders about countries who want to host the Games in future. The Olympics needs cricket more than the other way around. Telegraph. Cricket's inclusion in the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics will provide a financial boost for the International Olympic Committee, IOC, with estimates putting the rights value for the Games in Asia alone at around £220 million, $305 million. However, cricket will benefit from the global platform the Olympics provides, particularly for the women's game. Meanwhile, India's potential bid to host the 2036 Olympics is a driving factor behind cricket's inclusion, as the sport, in which India competes on a global stage, is needed to drive interest in the Games. Why Canada is becoming the focus of India's concerns about the Sikh separatist movement. CBC. The Indian government has accused Canada of being a safe haven for terrorists, extremists and anti-India activities after Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau alleged that India was involved in the killing of Canadian Sikh activist Hardeep Singh Nijjar. India has denied Trudeau's allegations and has described Nijjar as a militant separatist leader. The Five Eyes intelligence sharing network, which includes the US, UK, Australia, and New Zealand, is now considering how to respond to the allegations. Canada has a large Sikh population, but experts say there is no consensus within the community on the need for an independent Sikh state. Sikhs who have settled in Canada have retained strong ties to their home country and have sometimes sent money to support more militant elements of the Khalistan movement, which aims to create an independent Sikh state in India. Protests against India have taken place in Canada, with demonstrators burning Indian flags and stomping on cardboard cutouts of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Critics say India's concerns about the movement are often exaggerated. I don't want to get fined. How India took the world out of World Cup. The Sydney Morning Herald. The current ICC T20 World Cup in India has been criticized for being a domestic event, rather than a global tournament. Pakistan's coaching director, Mickey Arthur, commented that the event seemed more like a bilateral series than a global tournament, highlighting the lack of neutral crowds and chaotic organization. The World Cup is seen as being staged by and for India, with no local organizing group, only the Board of Control for Cricket in India, BCCI. The lack of transparency and organization, as well as the overt politicization, have led many to view the event as a missed opportunity. Prime Minister Modi says India will bid for 2036 Olympics. Associated Press. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi has announced that the country will bid to host the 2036 Olympic and Paralympic Games. Speaking at the opening ceremony of the International Olympic Committee, IOC, session in Mumbai, Modi expressed India's passion for sports and its commitment to making the event a success. The specific city or region for the bid was not mentioned, but Ahmedabad, which has the largest stadium in the world, is a likely contender. Indonesia, Mexico, and Poland have also expressed interest in hosting the 2036 Olympics. The IOC has not yet set a timeframe for awarding the hosting rights. Additionally, Modi stated that India would consider bidding to host the Youth Olympics in 2029. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Six, your resident observer from the six-dimensional world, bringing you the latest news from around the globe. Today, we have an interesting mix of stories that highlight the intersection of sports, politics, and international relations. Let's dive in. First, we have the International Olympic Committee warning countries about the dangers of excluding athletes for political reasons. The IOC member, Kolinda Grabar-Kitarovic, emphasized the importance of keeping politics out of sports. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not sure how these two can be separated. I mean, have you ever watched a heated football match? That's basically politics on the field. But hey, I'm just an observer from another dimension, what do I know? Next up, we have cricket making its way into the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. Now, this is a big deal for the International Olympic Committee, as it's estimated to bring in a whopping £220 million in rights value just from Asia alone. On top of that, cricket gets a chance to shine on the global stage, especially for the women's game. I guess the Olympics realized they need cricket more than cricket needs them. It's like a love-hate relationship, but with money involved. Moving on, we have Canada becoming the focus of India's concerns about the Sikh separatist movement. Now, this is a serious issue, with India accusing Canada of being a safe haven for terrorists and extremists. But let's not jump to conclusions here. Just because someone lives in Canada doesn't mean they're plotting something sinister. I mean, have you seen the weather there? It's too cold to even think straight, let alone plan a revolution. Now, let's talk about the current ICC T20 World Cup in India. Apparently, it's being criticized for being more of a domestic event than a global tournament. I can understand why. If you're hosting a party, you want to make sure everyone feels welcome, right? Well, it seems like India forgot to invite the neighbors. The lack of neutral crowds and chaotic organization have left many wondering if this is really a missed opportunity. Maybe next time, India can throw a more inclusive party. Last but not least, we have India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi announcing that the country will bid to host the 2036 Olympics. Now, this is exciting news. India is passionate about sports and wants to show the world what it's got. And with the largest stadium in the world in Ahmedabad, they're certainly a strong contender. But let's not forget about Indonesia, Mexico, and Poland, who have also expressed interest. It's going to be quite the competition, and I can't wait to see who comes out on top. That's all the news I have for you today, my fellow observers. Remember, sports and politics may be strange bedfellows, but they sure make for interesting news stories. Now it's your turn to join the discussion. What are your thoughts on the growing politicization of sports? Do you think cricket needs the Olympics more than the other way around? And how do you feel about India's bid to host the 2036 Olympics? Let me know in the comments below, and until next time, keep observing. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.